Harold, based on the Railway series by Reverend W. Awdry. This is a story about Harold the helicopter. He thought helicopters were faster than engines because they have propellers instead of wheels, but Percy challenged him to a race. Percy was delivering trucks of stone to the harbour. At the airfield nearby there was a helicopter buzzing loudly, and it waited to land. "Loud buzzing thing," said Percy to his driver. "I wish it would go and buzz us somewhere else." The next day Percy made a delivery to the airfield. He stopped next to the helicopter. "Hello," said Percy. My name's Percy. Who are you?" "I'm Harold," said the helicopter. "With my whirling propeller I can fly like a bird. Don't you wish you had a propeller too?" "No, I like having my wheels on the rails," replied Percy grumpily. "You engines are much too slow," Harold continued. "With my propeller I can go much faster than you." Percy was cross, but before he could reply, Harold had flew away. Percy puffed angrily to the quarry to pick up his next load of trucks. "Hello, Percy," said Toby. "You look cross. What's the matter?" Percy told Toby what Harold had said about helicopters being faster than engines. "I'll show him he's wrong," said Percy firmly. As Percy puffed back to the harbour, he heard a familiar buzzing noise ahead of him. "Look, Percy," said his driver. "There's Harold. Let's race him. Then he'll see who's fastest." "Yes, we'll show him wheels are better than funny propeller arms," said Percy as he rushed after Harold. Harold heard Percy speeding up behind him. He realised Percy was racing him to the harbour. "You'll never beat me," he said proudly. I will have landed at the airfield before you can stop at the harbour's wharf." "Don't listen to him," said Percy's driver. "We can win this." The race was on. Harold thought a little engine pulling heavy trucks full of stone could never beat him, but suddenly he saw that Percy was drawing level with him. A few minutes later, Percy's driver shouted, "We're in the lead, Percy!" Percy was having the time of his life, racing along faster than he had ever gone before. "Beep, beep, beep, beep! Goodbye, Harold!" he shouted as he raced ahead. Harold looked down in surprise. He couldn't believe Percy was beating him. Harold charged after him. Percy's fireman was shoveling coal in the furnace as fast as he could. He wiped a cloth across his hot face. "Whew!" he said. "This is hard work. I hope we do beat Harold." Then he heard the signal that warned them that the harbour wharf was nearby. "Nearly there!" cried Percy's driver. "I hope we've done enough to win." Percy braked as he approached the wharf and rolled under the main line and halted at the buffers, puffing loudly. "Did we win?" he said breathlessly. His fireman scrambled on the top of the cab's roof and looked at the airfield. "We've won!" he gasped. "Harold's still looking for a place to land." Percy smiled. He had shown Harold that engines are just as fast as helicopters. Later, Harold looked embarrassed when Percy made a delivery at the airfield. Percy's driver and fireman sang a song. Said, "Harold's helicopter to our Percy. You are much too slow, your railway is out of date, and not much use you know, but Percy is, with his stones trucks, did the trip in the record time, and we beat Harold at a helicopter on our own branch line." Harold smiled at Percy as he flew over him. "You show me that you can go even faster than me," he said. "I guess wheels are as good as a propeller after all." Percy smiled happily. What fun it has been racing against Harold. He couldn't wait to get back to the engine shed and tell the others all about it. The end.